Hey guys, Paul Michael Kane here yet again with a photography tip and or trick, and today we're going to further embarrass my daughter Peyton by showing that she is, just like her dad, a big geek. Today she's wearing her Star Wars tank top, and I shot this with my iPhone. It's a snapshot, nothing too fancy, but she's wearing this awesome tank top with my favorite scene from Star Wars, and I thought, why not do a video on this? We have a really plain, bland sky. So I thought I'd add some drama to that sky by adding some clouds and stuff to that image. And I thought I'd take you guys through the process with me. So let's have a look. Okay, so this is a very simple process here inside of Photoshop. I have already chosen a set of clouds that I'm simply going to drag into my new image using the Move tool. And as you can see, I'm going to close that. It's bigger than we need it, which is always good to have. And a quick note about clouds, they are fluffy by their nature, so they're very resolution independent. So we don't have to worry about, making it look fuzzy because the clouds are already fuzzy. So we have the clouds here, and we're going to position them where we want to. Now we could do that two ways. We could drop the opacity of the cloud so we can better position where they're going to go in the image. We can do that via opacity, or we could change the blending mode to multiply, and then we get a much better look at where the clouds are going to exactly lie. I like that very much. Leaving the blending mode on, I'm going to go ahead and create a layer mask. It's the third icon in your layers panel, and that layer mask is white. So if I change my foreground color to black and paint with my paintbrush, and I'll pick a nice soft edged brush, yeah, just like that. Make that a little bigger using my bracket keys. I'm going to paint away the cloud layer where it's not needed, which is in front of the horizon, of course in front of Peyton here too. And I don't have to be painfully exact with this because we're going to do a little trick later that will help me sell the effect a bit more. So this is, by the way, a snapshot. It's nothing posed. It's shot with my iPhone. I just really wanted to document her geekiness, and I thought, what a fun way to do a video. So I'm going to harden my brush here and then get into the nitty-gritty, getting rid of those clouds right there and there. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch this back to normal. Okay, I completely forgot about the side over here, so I'm going to go back to multiplying. Mask out. Let's go with a softer edge brush. Mask out these leaves here, the branches. Looking good, looking good. Okay, let's try that now. Change that to normal, and we're getting a bit better. Now, because we're painting on a layer mask, we can continue to fine-tune that layer mask to make sure that we get everything exactly right. Missed her hair over here, missed some of the leaves down here, and again, you can see some of our original sky bleeding through. I'm not going to worry about that too much because to sell the image, we're going to do something else to this. Okay, I'm going to reverse my colors. Painting with white, I can paint back in some of that layer. And we're looking good. Looking very good. All right, now we have the sky in place. It looks very fake. It looks painfully fake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the opacity of that sky. And already we're seeing dramatic improvement here. Oops, let's go back to the layer mask, get this a little bit better. There we go. All right, I like this a lot. Here's where we started. Here's where we're at. And to further sell this, back on the layer mask, I'm going to click my gradient tool. And I want to make sure, this is very important, that I'm using the gradient black to transparent. That's what this little checkerboard means. It's transparent. And drawing up from right about here, I'm going to hold down my shift key so I get this nice constrained line. And I'm going to draw up. And that's going to fade out the clouds along the horizon. And now I've really started selling this image as real. So there's a slight halo still around her head. I'm going to go back in. I'm on a white layer mask. I'm going to paint with white so I can paint back in around her head. So we get rid of that halo effect. Right there like that. There's a little bit of, whoops, there's a little bit of cloud bleeding through her. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay, so we've got a little bit more realistic transition around her head. And I'm really liking that. That's very, very effective sky swap. Not bad at all. We got a little haloing over here. We can fix that. Oh, not that way. There we go. Very good. Now, I'm really liking where we're going with this. We've effectively sold the sky swap. It looks really good. What else could we do with this? All right, so you know that saying, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. I'm going to take that saying and throw that right out the door, and I'm going to go ahead and have some fun with this image because I am a geek just like my daughter. And what would make this image really just more awesome? All right, let's go ahead and add, if I can cue up some music. Okay, good. And you knew it. It was going to happen. We're going to add a Star Destroyer. Love it. All right, so what I did was I did a search on Google for Star Destroyer, and I found a wonderful PNG file, which is a relatively new file format, and it allows for transparent background, so I don't have to spend the time cutting out the background of, say, a JPEG. I have this wonderful transparent background that I can place anywhere on my image. I'm going to place it right about here. Absolutely love it. Looks good. Little Star Destroyer flying in over Ogdensburg. That's the Sterling Hill mine right there. So here we have this Star Destroyer. Now, it looks good. It looks absolutely screen ready, but it looks a little fake because we know that if we see something off in the distance, especially in a sky, in an atmosphere, there's particulate, there's haze. We want to add some of that haze to further sell the image as a absolute, real image. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drop the opacity of the Star Destroyer. But what's happening now is because we did that, we have some clouds bleeding through. Now, we all know the Empire doesn't paint clouds onto their Star Destroyers, so we're going to go ahead and knock back those clouds. So I'm going to hold down the Control key and click on the thumbnail inside the Layers panel. And that's going to make a selection around that Star Destroyer. All right, and then I'm going to go back to the layer mask here on the clouds, and I'm going to simply fill that selection with black, which will knock out those clouds. So if I took away the Star Destroyer, you can see that I've masked out that shape. All right, so we're getting there. We're looking really good. We're also going to soften that, because if I were focusing on Peyton, well, this is a shot with my iPhone, it's just a simple snapshot, but anything in the distance would be a little bit more fuzzy, especially, and I believe the iPhone shoots about 2.8 on this, so I want to make the Star Destroyer just a bit more soft in the focus area. So I'm going to go ahead and hit blur, Gaussian blur, and I'm going to come in, I was just going to say about a 1 or a 0.9. See what a 0.8 looks like. All right, I'm liking that. We're selling the image. It's not tack sharp, which is good. That's really good. I like that a lot. Now, I also want to let's see about a gradient layer style. We'll go gradient overlay. Okay, now we're going to see. Oh, I like this. Okay, so I want the angle to be 90%, so it's running straight up and down. But I think I want to reverse. Yes, that's what I want to do. Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm going to lessen the opacity of that. But what we're doing now is we're taking the bottom of that and making it just a little bit more hazy. Yeah, I like that a lot. That looks good. Drop the opacity just a bit more. Very good. Now maybe that's too much. Right about there. So now we have a Star Destroyer looming in the distance over my hometown of Ogdensburg. And it's really big. It gives a real sense of scale. What else could we do? What else could we do? Can we cue some more music? That's perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and, because we can, We'll add a Death Star. That's right. So now we have the Death Star looming in the distance here. We're going to throw it up around here. I like that a lot. I almost now want to make my Star Destroyer a little smaller, but we'll leave this here like this, just bleeding off the edge. We're going to go ahead and knock that opacity way back. We're going to do that little trick where we take the clouds and fill that with the black. All right. Oh, that looks really good. But let's put some clouds in front of the Star Destroyer. Let's see what that looks like. So if I'm going to paint with clouds, I want to paint with white. And I actually have paintbrushes that look like clouds. So I'm going to select my paintbrush tool and scroll down. There they are here. We got this one. Yeah, let's try this. We're going to paint on a brand new layer. I'm going to increase the size of my brush. Oh, no, those are black. Black clouds, which is appropriate, I guess. But let's do that. I'm liking this. Got an email there. That one's a little bit too, so let me do another layer. And then I'll knock back that opacity. Now we've got the Death Star looming in the distance. I'm going to erase those clouds from her forehead, and I think, whoops, let me soften that. I think I'm done torturing her. I think we're in good shape here. That looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And make sure that these are nice and clear, and we're good. So there we have it, using some brushes, some special effects, some new files, some PNG files, and a bunch of layers. We've created, a composite of images, and I just feel really bad for Ogdensburg right now, but Peyton's got it covered, guys. She's the new hope, and thank you guys for watching. Do check out paulmichaelkane.com. That's my personal site. You could also check out Lightbox Photography Cards. We are currently running a brand new campaign for the Macro Edition. Do check that out. They'll be in the links below. And thank you guys, as always, for watching, for the support and the kind words. You guys take care.